New video of Blake Lively in hotel lobby goes viral, ruins her $400 million lawsuit. Blake Lively just was caught in a viral hotel video, and this could derail her $400 million lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. After this newest leaked video, many are calling her a mean girl, comparing her to Amber Heard, and stating this could be the biggest mistake of her career. So, what happened? Why is everyone freaking out? Let's break it down. The hotel incident. So, Blake Lively was in Austin, Texas for South by Southwest, promoting her new movie Another Simple Favor. After the event, she and her colleagues proceeded to Hotel 1928 in Waco, Texas, a location owned by Chip and Joanna Gaines. Sound like a normal weekend, right? Well, not quite. Because at the same hotel, a TikToker named Caitlin Marie Cooper and her mom were there too. They were just sitting in the lounge when they observed a group of hotel staff scurrying around. Turns out, they were getting ready for a VIP guest. And surprise, surprise, it was Blake Lively. Now, Caitlin did what most people would do when they encounter a celebrity. She took out her phone and filmed. Just a quick video of Blake entering the lobby. Nothing extraordinary. But evidently, Blake wasn't happy about it. And that's where things become odd. Blake Lively's reaction.
I see the hair. Is she like Lively? Don't look up.
Okay, so Blake Lively sees Caitlin taping her. Instead of ignoring it like most celebrities would, she apparently decided to make a major scene. According to Caitlin, Blake went to the hotel gift shop, bought a hat, as if that's gonna cover her identity, and tried to disguise herself. But that's just the beginning. The next morning, while Caitlin and her mom were leaving, Blake's security guard was following them. And then, wait for it, Blake herself steps outside and starts filming them. Like, full-on documenting them, walking around their car, even noting down their license plate.
Why?
What was she attempting to do? Now people online are saying this is creepy, aggressive, and straight up like, picture a celeb filming you just because you took a random lobby video.
And it gets worse.
Online harassment starts.
Her team caught wind of this, I believe. Maybe saw me recording her on the security camera, did not like this, thought maybe I recorded something they didn't want out there, didn't want me to see, whatever. And next morning, we kind of were being followed by her security guard a little bit. On the way out, checking out of the hotel, Blake Lively herself comes out, starts recording us, says hi to get us to look up at her, circles our car, gets the car information, license plates, all that.
So Caitlin publishes about the whole situation online, explaining what transpired. And then weird accounts start monitoring her stories. Some of them were tied to Blake's PR team, her lawyer, even the hotel manager. And then random troll accounts started her, calling her names, criticizing her trip with her mom, and even making fun of her wedding date. Like what? Over a hotel video? Who does that? And here's where folks really started turning on Blake. Because she's always had this cool girl reputation, right? But suddenly, she's becoming paranoid, angry, and dominating. And if this is how she reacts to one person filming her in a hotel, imagine what she's like behind the scenes. Now, if you thought the hotel video was the only time Blake Lively strayed out of line, think again. Because it turns out, she and her crew might be operating a comprehensive behind-the-scenes operation to suppress and control content creators. And once you connect the dots, it's honestly scary how far she might be going.
Online harassment started the next day. Her lawyer, her social media person, her nanny were looking at my stories. They ended up making troll accounts, and someone called me.
Anyway, let's back up. This whole thing really got off when Blake made a crazy move. She hired a former CIA officer as her crisis PR manager. Yes, truly. She brought on Nick Shapiro, who used to be the deputy chief of staff at the CIA. That's not natural. Shapiro isn't your normal Hollywood publicist. This individual has expertise covering up serious stuff like crimes in Airbnb properties. There's a story that he helped pay off a woman with $7 million to be silent following a traumatic encounter. That's the kind of guy Blake wanted to handle her image? It feels like overkill. Why do you need someone who works in the shadows, unless you've got something to hide? Zach Peter and Popcorn Planet, Blake's smear machine.
bizarre. I mean, I can't think of a scenario why Blake Lively herself would try to get their information. Only maybe is if she's wondering if they're working with a paparazzi or maybe Blake Lively's so paranoid to think that she's being followed by Secret Service, followed by like a private investigator. I truly don't know.
Zach Peter and Andy from Popcorn Planet even called this out. They argued Blake's team is playing dirty, using legal techniques and unscrupulous press spin to make her look like the victim, even when she's plainly not. They also pointed out how her legal win wasn't even a true one. She got a limited protection order, but only for her health and security stuff, which Baldoni's team wasn't even wanting. But the media made it sound like she beat him in court. Total PR spin.
Up the cover up, it was Nick Shapiro. So when you see these sort of conspiracy things come forward and you realize the dirty secrets and things that he's been covering up, does it surprise you that Blake Lively brought this type of guy in to do it?
I don't think this looks good for her. Like, I know she thinks that, like, yeah, she brought in the big guns, but now that, like, he's been exposed, we now see the Achilles heel here. We see that he is this guy that's tied to all these different controversies and cover-ups. That, to me, that doesn't help her case because it just makes it look like she has something guilty when his past is covering up crimes for Airbnb.
Zach also remarked what everyone's thinking. When you hire someone like Shapiro, who's famous for cover-ups, it makes you appear guilty. Like, why do you need a CIA fixer unless your side of the story is going apart?
Now they're saying Blake has a victory in court and she's winning. And I'm like, is she though? Because like she didn't really win anything. She like technically got her attorney's eyes only protective order, but it was really just for the meek arguments that her attorneys gave in court of being like, oh, well, she needs this because of, her medical records and because of her security. And so the judge is like, okay, fine. You get it for your medical records and you get it for your security, which Brian Friedman made very clear. We're not interested in those things.
Caitlin Cooper isn't alone. More and more creators have started coming out, saying Blake's staff is deliberately targeting them. One creator literally said,
Their fault. Batman, no, it's Blake and her team coming after us.
Another author, Flo, talked about how someone tried to harm her reputation by changing her Wikipedia article. She alleges her page got updated over and over by a guy named D.F. Levitt. Turns out, this individual has close connections to Ryan Reynolds' crew. And guess what? After those adjustments, articles started sprouting up online depicting Flo as a racist and an unreliable journalist. And somehow, the first thing that shows up on her Wikipedia page is a piece defending Blake and labeling Flo nasty. How convenient.
Something has happened big, and now I realize that I am being silenced on social media officially.
So today, not only are fans being watched and filmed, but creators are also getting their internet presence edited to make them look terrible. It's all part of the same pattern: silence, control, devastation. They're not stopping at TikTok. Another creative, Katie from Without a Crystal Ball, stated Glamour magazine produced an entire article characterizing creators as part of a hate machine, just because they questioned Blake's behavior. Katie wasn't even named in the piece, but some of her pals were, and it was clear who the author was trying to support.
Blake Lively team, I am pretty sure it's coming from them, let's put it that way, because of a lot of things that I will go through in this video, because some of you guys digged a little deeper. You dig deeper on this guy called D.F. Levitt, who created a lot of the new changes. So this guy came out on Substack in an article saying that he thought my Wikipedia page was suspicious. Why? No reason. He just thought it was suspicious that I had one, and that this guy who created it, he was wondering who he was.
And here's the kicker. Glamour has featured Blake many times. They've put her on their cover. They need to secure their access to her and her friends like Taylor Swift. So, of course, they're going to criticize everybody who doesn't support her.
Our magazine published this horrible article about digital content creators that they named Mommy Sleuths as being part of this hate machine that's against Blake Lively. And my content, by the way, was not listed in there, but I did notice that some of the content creators covering the story that I have actually had conversations with and have contact with.
Katie claimed the piece basically dubbed any woman who doesn't believe Blake anti-woman. It was written by a former Fox News editor who now works at Glamour, someone who, conveniently, has ties to Ryan Reynolds' business circle. Are we starting to see a pattern yet? What a coincidence. The same week Blake Lively hires a former CIA PR agent, content creators start getting smeared. One admirer said. So how this ruins her $400 million lawsuit against Justin Baldoni now. Here's the part where things really go south for Blake. Because this hotel event might destroy her lawsuit against Justin Baldoni. If you don't know, Blake is suing him over the whole It Ends With Us incident. She's trying to claim that she was abused, undermined, and manipulated. Basically, she's playing the victim in the Hollywood legal game.
Claims in her amended lawsuit that her It Ends With Us co-star and director made multiple women feel uncomfortable on set.
I thought we were friends.
We are friends.
But in Blake's latest filing, she doesn't name names nor any text messages as receipts. She says it's to avoid continued harassment and targeting of innocent bystanders.
But now,
this hotel footage makes her look like the aggressor, like the genuine, and that's a big problem for her case. And not only that, recently I just got to know that Amber Heard is publicly defending Blake Lively, yes. And now, some are comparing Blake Lively to Amber Heard. And I get it. Because remember how Amber tried to position herself as a victim, but ended up seeming like the actual problem? That's exactly what's happening to Blake right now. And the amusing thing is how Amber's lawyer appeared on News Nation to give her 2 cents on Blake's case.
Why do you believe that these allegations may have teeth?
Well, first of all, remember this PR team was the same PR team that Depp got back in the Amber Heard and Depp case. Now, most PR firms, you assume, are supposed to promote their client. That's not what this PR firm does. And what's clear in Blake Lively's complaint is they do exactly the opposite. They go out and intentionally fabricate stories, create smear campaigns, and with TikTok and all the other social media, and that's what happened to Amber Heard. They went after her to destroy her rather than to try to promote.
Now Amber Heard had the whole Johnny Depp me case, and everybody believed her at first. But then, the evidence started mounting up against her. And what happened? She lost the case, lost Hollywood support, and now she's effectively blacklisted. Now look at Blake. She's in a major litigation. She's attempting to make herself look like an innocent one. But then, bam. This hotel video drops, and suddenly, people are seeing a completely different side of her. A domineering, vindictive side. And once the internet turns against you, it's done. So let's be real. This isn't simply about a hotel video anymore. This is about Blake Lively's entire career. Because she's spent years building this flawless public image. The humorous, cool, not like other girls actress. The one everyone adores.
but now,
people are detecting fractures in that image. And Hollywood doesn't forgive readily.
She's a serial fraudster. That's called fraud. When you pretend you want to do the one thing and you'll do the thing they're hiring you for, but all along you have secret plans to do something very, very different that's above your pay grade. And she finally bumped into someone who was weak enough and not famous enough to stop her.
If her lawsuit against Justin Baldoni breaks apart, that's going to be embarrassing. Studios won't want to deal with her because they don't want the drama. And this is what we just saw with her recent Amazon Prime failure. So, here's the question. Is Blake Lively harming her own career? Is this just a misunderstanding, or is she truly a terrible girl behind the scenes? Because let's be honest, if any other celeb did this, people would be dragging them. And right now, it looks like the internet is starting to turn on her. Let me know in the comments.